Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. I am your boy, Rion the Sad Panda, and as promised, I have another fantastic video for you. Yes, a ton of news relating to 12.6, not just 12.6, 12.7, 12.8, 0.13, everything that you can think about, every news related to EFT and the upcoming future for guns, including the arena, including EFT mobile, including new radar gear, all of this to be discussed in this video. I'm gonna get straight into it to not waste any of your time. I'm your boy, Rion the Sad Panda, and like I always say, gentlemen, laat ons gooi manne, laat ons gooi. Let's get into it. Now, it's important to remember that most of the information was got from a podcast that Nikita had with the Russian EFT community. A Reddit user subsequently transcribed most of the information, and that's how I got most of my information. I did my research, I spoke to a few prominent figures within the EFT community, and I made sure that the information that I present to you is as accurate as possible based on the information that I could receive. First and foremost, the biggest piece of information that people went absolutely batshit about this morning, which made me laugh so much. One of the users on Reddit said that the wipe was delayed. Now, in a direct translation from the Russian podcast, this is probably what it meant. However, what it reflected and what Nikita referred to is the fact that it was delayed past tense. So when the new wipe hit 0.12, they preferably looked at a new wipe, let's say hitting in April, early May. That's what he meant. The wipe is delayed now based on the projections from the past. The wipe that he was talking about in terms of 12.6 is still on course for when they said it was going to be released. So stop worrying, the wipe is not delayed. Adding the new guns was part of a fast deployment patch. Most of us know that the patches generally take about 3 hours. However, Nikita has implemented and stated that BSG are in a better position to handle backlog and general game server issues. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is a thing of the past where our update would take 4, 5, 6 hours and maybe another 2 hours for the implementation thereof. 1 hour updates, quick fixes, generally to come soon with the growth in BSG. Hopefully this is something that is a new norm for any updates in the future. I find it quite hard to believe that a large portion of the community still feels that BSG isn't doing enough. They are doing their absolute best, working tirelessly to try and implement fixes to make sure that the game remains stable. A lot of people feel that they are implementing fixes only to cause more problems. Well, if they don't implement the fixes, then the game will not run as stable as it has. Yes, I'm not on that bandwagon saying it's a beta so we can just accept it, but we need to be more patient. Nikita has said that he's going to implement the report button if you see someone hacking, for inconsistent servers, even for VoIP. Yes, VoIP will be discussed next. We are talking about IP and device bans, not only for the accused, but also for misrepresentation of using the report button. I talked about VoIP. VoIP is coming, it's always been in the works. Nikita said that the one thing that really put them off of VoIP is other games in terms of how they would monitor the immersiveness of EFT. It will be tested in closed servers, however, there will only be selective entries. No real measurements are currently available on who will be selected. The custom expansion has been delayed. It's not going to be coming out this wipe. Expansion is between the old gas station and the construction yard. New buildings will be added, as well as old building interiors will be revamped. There's not a set date as of yet, however this should make for an interesting change that you don't have to use your factory key between the main construction warehouse and the new gas station. EFT Unity 2019, the engine is also tested internally, however still a way for full implementation. Strict selection criteria based on intensive game knowledge and hours played in the game will be utilized to select the participants. BSG already has its information, so they will send out invites once this is ready to be tested. The pre-wipe event is not yet been announced, however this will be announced on their Twitter and should hopefully last for about a week. During this pre-wipe event, they will be testing a test loot cooldown, meaning after you pick up an item, a specific period of time would need to pass for you to be able to put that item in your Gamma container. They've tried to address this in the past by removing items from the actual Gamma container, like a Reaper R, you can't put an ammo case in there. Quite a few items. They want to test and see if this is possible and what the effect's going to be on the new in-raid loot system. Dynamic loot unfortunately has been delayed to 12.7, even 12.8. So for that initial period of the wipe, boys, the keys 222, 226, 301, 305, all of those keys are going to be worth a massive amount of money. It should hopefully be implemented in the progress of the new wipe. Meta guns and item availability might also be nerfed during this time, so everyone might actually be using shotguns for half a day. It depends on what Nikita's going to implement in the pre-wipe. One of the stuff that he's definitely put forward is that there will be no grenades available, as the servers will be tested to capacity if there's a ton of grenades going off. Steam audio is coming to 12.6. Woo! Everybody that's been a massive fan of EFT understands that there has been a lack of audio, and the bugs for audio has just been immense, especially in buildings such as Interchange and the 3-story dorms in Customs, where you simply can't hear anything on my god wherever the noise is coming from. This is an awesome change and I'm really looking forward to it. 12.6 also brings new clothes for bears and USEC. Raiders have new gear. This has been implemented. I've tried to see it on labs and I personally have not come across a raider because some amazing hacker has killed me before I even set off an alarm. Yay, boys! 12.6 also brings changes to the flea market. Nikita has stated that the flea market is being tested rigorously, with found in raid items and crafting in the hideout being critical. This also reflects the EFT mobile app which they were talking about. This has no release date yet, however Nikita has implemented and stated that they want a person to access their stash and insurance. However, you will not be able to make money in terms of trading on the flea market from the EFT mobile. This also means in 12.6 that there's going to be a nerf to the AS, VAL and VSS. The integration of BattlEye has seen an abundance of players being banned, with Nikita mentioning that roughly about 1,000 to 2,000 accounts are being banned every day. If you pick up a problem with BattlEye, you need to report it to BattlEye and not BSG. BSG are aware of streamers promoting or selling hacks, but they are stating that stuff like speed hacks and live looting where someone drags the items from your PMC is basically null and void at this moment. Basically, these people that are selling it is a scam. As soon as you use it, your account will immediately be banned, as they are not valid at the moment anymore. The usage of third-party software will also cause bans in the future. So if you're trying to figure out a way to use your NVIDIA or AMD controls, I would definitely say stop and cease, because this is going to cause possible bans in the future. A time has not been implemented for this, and you might unfortunately be one of those that are banned first for using any third-party software. Nikita has always maintained that he doesn't want players to have access to everything at once, even end-game players. What he means by this is 70% of the items that players need will need to be found in raid, 30% will be found in dealers, the rest needs to be crafted in the hideout, which counts as found in raid, so you can trade it on the flea market. 12.7 and 12.8 on new guns. This could be shotguns, revolvers, .45, 300 blackout, or even the Caltech. The Shoreline boss will hide things and have a dynamic loot system, totally different from any other boss that we ever faced, much more complex and much more difficult. Release date not been set yet. The different realms theory is definitely in the works, and by this I mean Nikita briefly spoke about this, in people would have the choice of having an account that is wiped or an account that is never wiped. The first iteration of the skills rework is done, but no implementation of the date is yet set forward. Under-barrel grenade launchers are to be added after handheld grenade launchers are added, including a flare gun and possibly the M320. Yes, boys, the compass has been confirmed for 12.7 and 12.8. How many times have you tried to call a location only for your teammate to look in totally the wrong direction? I've done it plenty of times. Looking forward to the compass. The merch store coming, however, the restrictions of COVID-19 has made it difficult and other tasks have taken priority. The UN faction is coming to EFT. Yep, the UN faction. This is a new SCAF faction. They will have designated areas on each map, a separate loot system. They might have backup, snipers, the works. Looking forward to this. SCAF Life DLC and SCAF Boss Gameplay have been confirmed. Nikita briefly teased the karma system, however didn't want to provide too much information. What we know is, if you are a scav, you've killed a lot of scav players. When you scav in again, you might be tagged in curse, and specifically the bosses will go for you straight off the load of the map when you come within a certain range. He didn't want to provide too much information as it's still being tested, and they want to make sure that it's balanced to accommodate everybody. The arena mode, interesting concept. PvP in terms of you with your mates fighting one boss, fighting all the bosses, allowing the bosses to fight each other. Should be interesting, should add another fresh dynamic with you and your mates. New looted only backpacks, black multi-camo clothing, lockpicking was mentioned, and even war belts. We're unsure of whether war belts will act as a vest or add to your pockets. Last but not least, there's no official release date for the game. Nikita said that there's a lot of stuff that he wants to implement first, including the Streets of Tarkov, as well as the new rig loot system. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your boy, Rian the Sad Panda. I hope that you enjoyed this iteration of all the news relating to Tarkov. Follow me on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter at Rian the Sad Panda. I stream through Mondays to Sundays. Stay tuned for more information. Thank you so much for all your support, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. I'm your boy, Rian the Sad Panda. Laat ons gooi, manne. Laat ons gooi. Peace.